All right, we just got all checked in. It's a long appointment, like 2 hours, but we get to see a ton of different doctors. His food's kind of stuck and it's pushing on his airway. That's why he gets so wheezy. He's gonna do this through the winter.
He's gonna love that.
Yeah, he's gonna hate it. Probably like next spring, he can get off his feet.
That would be awesome. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Wow, that was very in sync. You guys should start a band, like a brother-sister band, and call it In Sync. I wonder if anybody's ever done that before. So Bree took Jensen down to the hospital just for some more testing and things like that down there, and I have to work today, so I couldn't go down with her. Which also means that I get to kind of help and oversee these two getting ready for school. So far so good. They've done their own hair. Let's take a look. Let me see the front, side, back. Absolutely perfect. I could definitely not have done it better myself. Our specimen number 2 looks good, bud. We might want to fix a little bit. What? Well, it's a little blue in the front. All right, come here. Let's take a look here. There we go. Hey, what are you doing? What?
I want to do it by myself.
Okay, go ahead.
Am I getting it?
You're getting it. We're off to the next part of the morning, and that's making their lunch.
I am doing, Mom's done this before. I'm going to put peanut butter and honey on the tortilla, roll it up, and then cut it. And then, so it's like mini peanut butter and honey bites.
Sounds delicious. What'd you find? Did you get a string cheese?
So far, yeah.
Okay, good. Was it still good?
I don't care if they're not. I'm still going to eat it.
Let me see it. Let me see if it's still good. Yeah, it should be fine. This is kind of a Bodie versus Brielle thing. What are they gonna have? Bodie's all about the dairy and fruit. Brielle's about the protein and bee sugar, bee nectar. Okay, she's got her tortilla burrito sandwich thing, some yogurt.
We have a situation here.
What's that?
Where will I put my apples?
In your mouth. You eat them.
No, like in my lunchbox.
Don't they fit? Here, open it up.
That's the only spot that will fit.
No. Right here.
I tried that.
Yeah, just spread them out a little bit. There. Boom.
Okay, then.
That'll work. Okay, what else? Brielle's got some ranch going on here for her vegetables. Okay. You guys are doing good. What'd you finish up with? Let's see. Okay. Bodie's got apples, oranges, string cheese, and a pickle. Is that gonna fill you up? Mm-hmm. Just finished getting their lunches ready and them ready for school, and we still have a half hour to spare. So the first thing they decided to do, Bodie goes, "Brielle, let's read." It's like, I am the best parent ever. Nice job. You got your lunches all ready. Now, actually, maybe you guys could clean the kitchen.
No!
You'd rather read than clean the kitchen?
Yeah, reading's awesome.
All right.
Especially when you're reading Harry Potter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna clean the kitchen and then head off to work, and you probably won't see me for the rest of the day. You're welcome. Because I've got a long day of work ahead of me. So we'll go ahead and switch back over to Brielle and Jensen, see how things are going down there.
Brielle and Jensen? Mom.
Bree and Jensen. Guys, it's early. I'm doing the best I can.
Good morning. We are at Primary Children's today. Jensen is getting a follow-up after the choking incident. So we're meeting with a big team, and hopefully we'll be able to come up with some ideas to help keep him a little bit safer so that something like that doesn't happen in the future. Oh, say hi. He just woke up.
Are you sure you don't need a coat?
Yeah, I'm brave, I'm kind, I'm smart, I'm loved, I can do hard things, I will be happy today. Bye, Dad.
Love you guys. Have a good day. Oh, thanks, bud. Love you. Love you. Be good. Have fun. Do lots of great things. Remember who you are.
All right, we just got all checked in. Got Jay changed out of his pajamas because we just put him straight in the car. At these clinic visits, we see like 6 doctors in one day. So it's a long appointment, like 2 hours, but we get to see a ton of different doctors that work on all the different parts of his body so that everyone has a good picture of where he's at and what he needs to work on. So these appointments are super helpful, but just long, but totally worth it. All right, we are just wrapping up our appointment. We're waiting for the respiratory therapist to come in because they're going to teach us some chest percussions and things to do. But he's so tired. He's asleep. We've been here for 2 hours already, so he's just getting worn out. So he's taking a little nap. We'll do the respiratory therapy, and that's going to be something that they want us to do at home throughout the winter to kind of help keep his lungs clear and healthier. Last year he qualified for a special shot to kind of give his lungs a little boost of immunities, but this year he doesn't qualify, so I'm glad that we at least even have another option of something we can do just to help him breathe better. It's hard because I feel like a lot of times you just basically have to wait until they're sick enough that you take them to the hospital. So this is helpful to feel like I have an option. Oh my goodness. So we basically just went from getting the kids off to school, me being at the doctor's appointment, and really not sharing a lot of information with you guys because I can't really film while I'm talking to the doctors. And then now it is 12 hours later, but Derek is working his long hours right now, you know, and so he just got home and he's so busy at work. I haven't even talked to him about how the doctor's appointment went. So I've got all my paperwork and I've got all his new stuff, and I'm going to tell him and you guys about how the appointment went. Why do you have a confused face?
Because it looked like a breast pump.
Oh, it's not a breast pump, don't worry. So when you go into the clinic appointment, you get to see like 6 doctors at a time. So it's a long appointment, but you get to see a ton of doctors, and it's really nice because they all kind of like talk together and work together, and so your whole team is like on the same page. So obviously one of the biggest topics of discussion for this appointment was the choking and like what we can do about that to help prevent it and make it better. Okay, so the first thing they were trying to decide is they're like, okay, so is he choking on food because he's swallowing wrong, like is it going down the wrong pipe, or is he choking on food because of his repair? And they came to the conclusion that he's choking on food because of the repair. So the food is in his esophagus, and they drew me this picture, and it blew my mind because I totally agree with it. Yes. So I'm gonna draw it. This is his trachea, and then this is his esophagus. And I guess the trachea and the esophagus share a soft wall. I don't really know about the body, but apparently, okay, this is where his grew together, right here. So they're supposed to be separated, but they grew together. This right here is called the fistula. This is the trachea, this is the esophagus. So they repair these, they take these apart. Where this repair was on his esophagus, the nerves don't work right. And his trachea actually is like kind of more collapsed on one side because of his tracheomalacia, because of this part kind of messed up the growth, right? So then when he eats food, so say this is food coming down right here, and it kind of gets stuck in this area, especially if it's a big piece of food, because the esophagus, the nerves don't work right and don't pull it down, it will start, because they share a soft wall, it will bulge into the trachea, and his trachea is collapsed, right? So then it makes his airway even smaller. His food's kind of stuck and it's pushing on his airway. That's why he gets so wheezy. Also, his esophagus looks good, so there's no reason to dilate it.
That's good.
The only thing that they thought about, the thing that they recommended us doing is a bronchoscopy, which they talked about this when we were in the hospital last week.
Check out his lungs. Just
to make sure that that his tracheomalacia, his collapse, has not increased at all. Because I guess sometimes it can get worse.
Which in the last video that we had, if there's supposed to be a pipe, like his trachea, for him it's more like this. It's completely closed when he breathes.
Instead of like an open circle.
Yeah, it's very much, it's very much so not an open circle.
They said if we want to make sure, they want to make sure like that that everything's still the same, that nothing has progressed. But I don't think anything's progressed personally. I don't think overall. Anyway, so that's something we need to decide and discuss. But if so, they want to do that in 2 weeks. So anyway, that's that. Aside from that, his weight gain is so good. And then they also, because he doesn't, last winter he qualified for a special shot called Synagis, which was just like medicine basically in his lungs to help them stay strong and kind of help prevent like RSV and stuff. But he doesn't qualify this year because he's a little bit too old.
Yeah, you have to be under 12 months
Yeah.
with our insurance.
Yes, so he didn't qualify. So instead, they're doing something different for us. They got us this special little, this is what Derek thought the breast pump was. We'll do like an inhaler with him morning and night. And then if he's sick, yeah, so I think we can do it more. I can't remember actually. See, this is why this stuff is so confusing. So he does the inhaler and you put the inhaler hooks on this part right here. And then this hooks on
Do they bring it to us?
It's at the inhalers that I have to pick up from the pharmacy.
Okay. So it doesn't have medicine in it, it just forces his
No, it
lung.
does
It's
have
like therapy.
medicine. The inhaler that attaches right here
It's
has
a
medicine
prescription.
in it.
Okay.
That helps his lungs. He's gonna do this through the winter, which will be good.
He's
because,
gonna love that.
Yeah, he's gonna hate it.
He freaks
New.
out when we wipe his nose.
I know. He's
He's
gonna have
not
to get
gonna
used to
love
it.
it.
So yeah. And we can only wash this in soapy water. You can't scrub in there. The last thing they gave us is called, he has to do CPT, which is chest physical therapy. So this is going to be 2 times a day, kind of a lot, 30 minutes each time, kind of a lot. But you take these little blue things, you can see, and they're like silicone kind of balloon type or whatever, and they have these spots on their chest that they teach you that you have to pat, and it basically breaks up the junk that's in their lungs.
Wow.
And helps them clear it. So it helps their lungs just stay clear and open. And then, because the other thing they described is because of that defect in his trachea and where the repair site is, usually our lungs have our airway, which they have these little hairs in it that pull actually, and they move up and they pull the mucus up so then you can kind of cough it up. But in that airway, in that spot in his airway, he has no hairs.
Scar tissue.
Because of, so you kind of have to help it get past that spot. So that's why this somehow helps move the junk around. I don't know. He's actually doing so good that probably like next spring he can get off his feeding
That
tube.
would be awesome. That would be so awesome.
Yeah, they don't want to change anything through the winter because the most important thing is just
Stay the
keep
course.
keep doing what you're doing. It's working. We'll assess that in the spring. And then also, I mean, really all we can do with feeding, if his esophagus looks amazing. He had like the best esophagus repair. It can't get better than that.
I always think it's so funny when we talk about how good of an esophagus he has.
Oh, you have
it's
such
like
a
telling
good
someone they have
esophagus.
nice calves. You have such nice calves.
No.
Oh, baby
So
Jay, your esophagus is so nice.
He has it just has a good repair.
No, it's awesome.
So it's not like they can do a dilation, there's nothing they can do. So as far as the choking episodes go, it's basically, there's not a lot of options besides don't feed him by mouth or continue what we're doing, which is watch him every single second of every single day and make sure he doesn't put anything in his mouth. And I started crying at the appointment because I told them, like, this is really overwhelming. I am paranoid I traded. So last year I was paranoid about him crying and not breathing. And now I'm paranoid about him putting stuff in his mouth because he's just at the age that kids put stuff in their mouth.
Yeah. You've got some PTSD going on there.
Yeah.
And we're a little hypersensitive, just all things considered. Compared to our other kids, we worried, but nothing like this. So
It's a completely different situation.
It
You
is.
can compare the two things. Other than that, he's doing great. The appointment went good. The kids survived Derek getting them ready for school. In fact, they loved it so much. I was like, "Can I get myself ready again tomorrow?" And
they're
I was
cute.
like,
They woke up early. So after you left, because she left early, like what, 6:15.
"Yeah."
To go down to the hospital, and so I started doing dishes and things, just trying to clean up, and they woke up like an hour before they normally do.
Well, the time changed though, so it's probably
That yesterday.
Yeah.
So maybe they're still a little bit on that.
day.
I know, but
It
they
takes, like,
were
a
so
little.
excited. No, they came upstairs and they were so excited to make their lunch. They were all ready They were excited to do their hair. Like, they were really happy this morning to not have you here. It's the darndest thing. Like, I'm not saying that it's you.
They're really
I'm just
happy
saying
to
it's
not
me
have
that they're
me
happy
here.
to have here. So, I mean,
This is baloney.
read between the lines, you know?
I make them beautiful, fancy lunches and do their hair.
Proof is in the pudding.
with
Like, if the shoe
love,
fits.
and they just don't
Yeah,
even want me here.
I give them their freedom. I let them make their own breakfast. I let them do their hair. They got dressed.
Whatever. All
Anyway.
right, guys, we gotta go to bed. It's late. Do I look tired? Do my eyeballs look tired? Yeah, they do. Okay,
Good night, guys.
see ya.